as I was talking. You can have the selfie camera on and you can take group selfie by moving the phone, as you can see on the top of the screen. It's a pretty good feature to have, but to be honest, I'm not just impressed by the selfie camera that much. Selfie camera is pretty good, my bad, but the rear camera is not that good. I do take a lot of photos with the rear camera, and I do enjoy a good rear camera, which Vivo has failed to do so. But if you're a selfie enthusiast, this is a pretty good phone. In other specification, this phone features a Snapdragon 450. The Qualcomm people came on stage and they talked about the performance. They'll give you better performance than Snapdragon 430, give you more battery life. In terms of their claim is that it gives you more 1.5 days of battery life more than 430, but in practical usage, of course, that will be pretty low. The price of this phone is 21,990 rupees, almost 22,000, which is steep price for this phone, as recently Xiaomi and Lenovo both have launched really good phones at price range of 15,000. Vivo, although they rely heavily on marketing, they rely heavily on the offline distribution. I'm pretty sure they'll sell a lot of phones. It'll be really interesting for them to see how this phone does. They have pertained to their selfie focused and music focused specifications. Talking about music, they do have a chip on board, especially for music processing. I really enjoyed the experience listening to some of the songs. I used the preloaded Savan app for this. You can go to the settings, and there is a setting where you can turn on the hi-fi mode, but the hi-fi mode just works under the headphones. If you're using the headphones, surely you can switch the hi-fi mode on, and it'll give you pretty good enhancement on listening to music, say surround sound or sharpness of the music. That's pretty good. So right now, as Tushar, as you're asking, Vivo V7 hasn't been announced by the company. Right now, Vivo V7 Plus only has been announced by the company. I quite like the design of the phone. I haven't been much of a fan of the Vivo design in the past, but this looks really sleek. The matte black finish is also good. It does catch a little bit of fingerprints, but it is not as fingerprint inducive as some of the phones we have seen in the past. It has 4 GB of RAM. It has 64 GB of internal storage, which you can expand. And it has a battery backup of 3225 milliampere hour. So overall, the specs are pretty decent. But for a phone of 20,000 rupees and a processor with Snapdragon 450, performance can be an issue if you're playing some high-end games or watching really graphic intensive videos. Otherwise, it's a new processor by Qualcomm. It'll do pretty well for you. If you're looking to pick something up from offline markets, this is a good phone if you're looking for something with a big screen, good sound and a good selfie camera. Vivo, although, has to improve their marketing strategy in terms of online sales, where Xiaomi is beating them right front and center. Lenovo also sells a lot of phones online, so Vivo would need to build their online presence. Apart from that, there's a fingerprint sensor at the back. There is, in terms of specification, there's a 16 megapixel camera in the rear, 24 megapixel camera on the front. The audio on the phone, as I mentioned, is pretty good. I really liked enjoying it. It has bottom firing speaker if you want to listen to on speaker. Another interesting thing, while a lot of smartphone companies are moving to USB-C, Vivo has stuck to the micro USB port, and you can charge it with that. It doesn't have any proprietary fast charging. So, well, here's that. It comes with a lot of bloatware on the phone. I haven't installed any of my own apps. So as you can see, there is tools, there's UC browser, there's WPS Office, Savan, Facebook, WhatsApp, Easy Share, and whatnot. Too many apps, I'd say. They should have kept a few less apps to make it less bloaty. On the other hand, Vivo's software is not that bad this time. They have used FunTouch OS 3.2 with Android 7.1 Nougat. They haven't mentioned anything for an Oreo update, but you can expect that if they're going to have an Oreo update, that's probably going to be in the next year, not this year for sure. So I'm going through the menus. They don't have a proprietary launcher as well. It's just apps on the main screen. They have pre-installed a lot of apps. They should have refrained from that because it adds to a lot of bloatware, might affect the performance as well of the phone. Danish, the cost of this phone is 21,990, 22,000 rupees almost. The pre-booking starts at 12th September, and you can the phone gets on sale on 15 on various websites, offline store at 22,000 rupees, 21,990 to be precise. Overall, it's a good phone. There are some areas which it needs improvement, such as software or the rear camera. Apart from that, the phone scores a lot of high points in terms of design. In terms of the front camera, of course, it's the best feature of the phone is the front camera, and the audio of the phone is good as well. I like this phone quite a lot in terms of, if I don't judge it by price, but if I slap a 22,000 rupees camera, 22,000 rupees price tag, I may not like it as much. I rather prefer another phone. But in offline markets, this is a good option to get. If you can't get a Xiaomi or a Lenovo phone online, this is a really, really good phone. So this is the front camera I'm using. As you can see, this is really, really clear. But if I switch to the rear camera, the results may not be as good as they should be. So taking this picture, it's a decent picture. It's nothing good, but yeah, well, it has Danish, if you're asking about the heating problem, it has the new Snapdragon 450 processor, so it handles, as Qualcomm claimed, it handles the heat pretty well. But if you're playing graphic intensive games, it surely will get heated about, but that's not really a problem. You can use this phone normally, and you shouldn't have any of these problems. So let me repeat the specs for the last time. This is Vivo V7 Plus with 5.99 inch full display, as they say, full display screen with 18:9 aspect ratio. It has a Snapdragon 450, Qualcomm Snapdragon 450 on board, 4GB of RAM, 64GB of internal memory, 24 megapixel of front camera, 16 megapixel of rear camera. The price of the phone is 22,000 rupees, 21,990 to be precise. It will be on sale from 15th of September. The pre-booking starts on 12th. If you compare with MIA1, this is a lower end processor, but it's a newer processor. Xiaomi's MIA1 would be better at handling some of the graphical stuff, but day-to-day stuff, surely this processor will score good amount of points. Just in terms of battery, it might last more if your usage is normal. So that's it from my side. Keep tuning into Killer Features. I'm Ivan Mehta, signing off. Bye bye.